Okay. And just like that, we are live. Or
Hey,
recording live.
recording live.
Man, so this is Paul, and on the other end of the screen, if you can see it in the video, if people audio can't see it, but you did the interview with me over your little I guess little video
Facebook
podcast
Live.
thing that
Yeah.
you do. I don't know if it's called podcast, but anyway, I'm excited to have you on because you have done some crazy things and a lot of things that I think people don't really think they can do. They don't think the things that you're doing are possible without oh well, he's just living on vacation the whole time or something, you know. But I really dig it. I really dig it. And then and I guess let's go ahead and take it out like what we talked about beforehand before we started this, Paul, and that is giving Betty a shout out for even hooking us up in the first place.
Yeah, I want to thank Betty for connecting the two of us. You know, it's so funny just how our paths crossed. It's not random. It's very divine timing. But just super grateful for Betty connecting Aaron and me because we are definitely two peas in the pod. We are definitely soul brothers, and I'm just so excited to see where this relationship goes. Even though I'm halfway across the world in Bali, Indonesia, I feel very connected to you, brother, and I'm excited to be here on this podcast with you and support you on your mission of getting people's stories out there and encouraging other people to do what we have going on out here too.
Yeah, well, let's get straight into it because I don't know a ton about it because last time I talked to you, you're like, "Hey man, I'm coming back to the United States to sell my stuff off. You know, I got some things going on. I've been helping this kid down in South America." And then it literally felt like we talk quite often and it felt like 2 days later you've moved to Bali like fully. Like you're
Yes.
100% in Bali now.
Yeah, so it's been a journey. So the last year, my girlfriend and I decided a year ago, we decided to sell all our stuff in Arizona and move to Belize in Central America. And we ended up living in Belize for 4 months. We worked with the local elementary school every day for 4 months, which was a huge test for not only me but my girlfriend. I was working one-on-one with a special needs kid almost every day, and it was intense. Like I've never done anything like that, where it was like really one-on-one with a kid who needed your full divided attention for 6 hours. And so with that also I was like helping with their PE and their math and their spelling and everything like that. But like it was just such a different world because at this school, I'm working with 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds, and they barely could even read their ABCs. So it was really heart wrenching to see that these kids in an English speaking first country could barely read their ABCs. And so obviously Mandy and I, my girlfriend and I, we did everything we could to help. And when we were leaving Belize, we were like, all right, what's something that we could really like create impact in? And we decided to sponsor a kid for the rest of his life to go to private school, and eventually, get him to go to maybe a college in the United States, maybe like USC or UT or something. So we ended up starting raising money to help this kid go to school in a private school in Belize, where it's like, there's only 10 to 15 kids in each classroom. It's very hands-on and really helping him at an early age get his education in line. And so that was, a great experience in the first 4 months of us traveling the world. And then we ended up moving to Guatemala for a couple months, and we just did a deep dive of our own personal journeys. And it was just very transformative, where we had to really look within about our vanity, our materialistic views, the American dream, the matrix that we lived in America for our whole life. We had to take a hard look at ourselves and our beliefs. And at the end of the day, like, our beliefs aren't our beliefs. They're our parents' beliefs, or their parents' beliefs. So it's like really truly finding that foundation of of who we truly are, and remembering what we're here to do on this planet. And so, anyways, and then I connected with Aaron when I was out in Guatemala. We did an amazing Facebook Live together. And
It was a whole lot of fun.
at that, yeah, there was a lot of fun in it because obviously we both have skating backgrounds. We're very loud in that.
Oh no! Did I lose you? Are you back?
Hold on.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm back.
I-
The lighting, I don't know what happened.
Don't worry, I paused it
Okay.
so I can get us. I can get us back going.
Okay. Maybe I'll just do it outside.
It's okay if it's even dark, man. I mean, it's cool. But if you want to see, can you see me? Okay.
Yeah, I can see you fine. Yeah, I don't know what's the deal. They don't pay their electricity bill on time out here, ever. So, they don't.
Yeah, that's.
I hope. Yeah, that's Bali for you. What's today's date? Let's see here. Good pause call.
Yeah. Now I learned how to do that because every now and then it'll have a mess up and I'll have to do that.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have a little different scenery here.
Oh, that's really cool.
Here we go.
That's nice looking
Yeah, we
though.
got this. Yeah, it's pretty here. Like we have like a lotus pond here.
Whoa.
It's pretty. And I'm like, this is our like outdoor living room kitchen.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this place is dope. All right, so
You ready to get back at it?
yeah, I think I'm like, yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're back live. We got it back.
Yeah, so when Betty connected Aaron and me together, it was just such a synchronistic thing where we're both very similar backstories where we love, skating, living that life. That really got to dive in with Aaron's X Games stories and everything like that, and just to see him like what he does with this fitness group and his CrossFit training. I'm very passionate about fitness as well, so it was just it was just so synchronistic, and so I thought it was a great idea to interview Aaron because Aaron's the one that usually interviews other people, so it was great to flip those roles and put the spotlight on you, buddy, because it's the people behind the camera sometimes that truly have those messages for people, and I think it was just pure magic. So I just want to commend you for doing what you're doing with this podcast and helping other people around your community and around the world see that there's different ways to live and there's different ways to generate an income around the world. So
Yeah, I mean, I guess I mean, I don't really look at it as I do anything. It's more of a you get to share your story, and then the more it gets out there of people like you, then the better off somebody might hear it. It might benefit them in some sort of way, and so really it's like just as much as you can get a story out there that make people believe like, oh, this stuff really is possible. Like your little yoga retreat that you did in Arizona.
Yeah.
Like you do, you get into all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it's great. Like at the end of the day, it's like I've learned over time. It's like I can't change anyone's life, but what I can do is, and what we can do is inspire others to see the change in themselves. And by doing different fitness things, like I do my hike, dance, yoga events where I have people wake up at 4:30 in the morning to watch a sunrise on top of the mountain and celebrate life and dance and reground themselves in meditation. Doing that, people would never do that, without someone facilitating that, whatever. So it's just like if I'm able to spark this fire under someone, that's all we can do. And what's crazy is 2 days ago, I had this guy in Australia message me on Instagram, he was like, "Hey, Paul, like I see that you're in Bali. Like I'm so excited to meet you one day. I just want to thank you. 4 years ago, you inspired me to create my own hiking group, and I've had 1,500 people plus join me on a 7 mile hike in Australia over the course of 4 years, and this wouldn't have happened unless you inspired me to do so."
That's
And I was
incredible.
like, I was like, I kind of got teary eyed. I was like, wow, like sometimes we don't even know the impact that we truly have. And I was just really grateful for him for sharing that because, I'm just doing me. I'm making silly videos. I'm like really just, always pumping all these good vibrations. But like sometimes I really don't see the results on the other side, like what's transforming. And there's just like it's phenomenal to think that like with the power of social media and with the power of what we're doing here, it's like we really can help spark and ignite people to truly get off their ass and do things in a
Yeah,
positive way.
maybe use it for good instead of just like sitting there. I call it LOLing whenever my daughter gets on the phone. It sounds so
You
old when
know,
I do that.
it sounds like AOL instant messaging.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
which,
like
which
it's
which I never did, by the way. I was like
yeah, I
right in
never did it.
between. Like I was, oh, that stuff's dumb. I'm not gonna do it. I can't talk. I used to not be able to talk to people unless I was face to face with them. Not even on the phone. It was just like,
So
wow, I'm gonna see you in
old
a
school.
second.
No, it's definitely more of my generation since I'm a '91 baby. So AIM was like perfect middle school communication.
Yeah.
But we had dial up, so it's like you can't be on the phone while you're on the computer. So it's like, Mom, get off the phone. I'm trying to message my friends. And that whole it's crazy the difference in technology now. But like, and that's why I'm so excited. It's like with like if these thought leaders back in the day, like MLK or even Jesus, like if they had this technology back in the day to really communicate across a global network, think about like how crazy that vibration would be sent out. And so that's what Mandy and I we constantly are promoting. Let's look within ourselves. Like we all have the tools within us, and like really help people like ask those questions that people usually would never be asked to look within. And so out here in Bali, we moved here a month or so ago, and we've actually decided to live here permanently and make this our home base because it's just like when I say our souls called us home, like our souls truly called us here to stay because Bali is uh, just the mecca for transformation for people that want to come out here and do a lot of healing internally, but also give back to the land around us. This place is just pure magic. And so with that, Mandy and I, we're hosting our first conscious leadership retreat in October for 13 men and women from around the world that are here to really focus on expanding their personal growth, relationships, financial growth, you name it. It's just we're all encompassing company, and we're here to really dive within them and help them clean up their internal world to reflect their outer world. And so like with that, it's just phenomenal. We're really excited to be out here. We're planting roots, not seeds, and getting after it. And it's been amazing. The last month, we have connected with the most powerful, inspirational men and women from around the world out here because it's just such a global network. And that face to face, like you said, Aaron, like I just love that interaction. And like, because you really can feel someone when they're in front of you, and it's just people out here to help each other grow, to truly connect their businesses together and get in alignment so we can all do this together. Because at the end of the day, we're all on the same team. Whether people know it or not, we're all in this together on this planet. And there's just one country, and it's and it's the world. So it's like once more and more people are waking up and getting out of this dormant state, that's where things are really starting to shift. And so Yeah, we're just in here in the trenches in Bali, laying that groundwork for people to truly wake up and see the big picture.
Yeah, and I mean, if people are listening to you talk, they're gonna be like, "Oh man, here's this like spiritual meditative guy. He's like grows up a hippie, walking around in the woods, looking at trees." But a lot of people wouldn't figure, listening to what you just said, that this dude played uh, football in college,
Yeah,
smashed
right.
heads, um, traveled all over the world playing football, got paid to do it, that good stuff, and then just decided, man, I need to do something else. This isn't my calling. Uh,
Yeah,
so I mean, it's not pigeonhole. Like this dude is not just some like skinny skin and bones rag wearing dude, you know. And but you can blend both worlds, is what I'm kind of saying. Like you can blend
yeah,
everything together, and that's what I feel like you're kind of doing. You're kind of getting people like, hey, you don't have to be this like, you know, only just to come from this spiritual background to get in touch with, you know, things and your feelings and all that good stuff.
yeah. And I think it's more difficult for men than it is for women. Like on this journey of like really diving within our feelings, and that's where I'm really passionate about is helping men around the world be more seen and more heard. Because there's a lot of, trust me, like out here in Bali, there's a lot of women on this journey of self-discovery and diving into their wounds from childhood. But like as men, we have to be the gladiators and keep the warrior helmets on and don't let people in too closely, and don't let people into your home, you know,
Yeah,
metaphorically speaking. And it's like understanding like we are all here to be seen and heard. We are all here to heal these wounds that we have accumulated, you know, from childhood on. And it's just such a beautiful journey. I'm like, yes, like I played football for 17 years. Yes, I played professionally overseas. I got paid to break people's bones. So I go from that to truly diving into my inner journey and understanding that my dream of playing professional football was never my dream. It was my parents' dream. So like understanding like when I say our beliefs are not our beliefs, like we were raised, into this family, and that was our society. Was our family.
yeah,
And so like when we try to blame society for everything, no, at the end of the day, it's like what was ever in our house when we were growing up, that was our society, that was our world. So we only knew one way. And so like what I help people do is truly see, look back at like truly what your foundation is built on, whatever religious beliefs you may have, whatever, education that you're raised in, like really understanding that, once we start taking our power back from all these things that we gave it to, whether it be education, our family, government, our job, once we start taking that power back, that's when we truly are able to step into what we're here to do. And it's just a constant remembering and awareness of, who we are, what our soul's here to do. And yeah, man, like it's been one hell of a journey. Like I could go all day about it, but I am writing a book about this transition that I've been going on, and I'm super excited to share with you in a further podcast.
oh yeah,
That journey.
oh heck yeah, we'll definitely have you on for
Yeah,
that. Like
yeah,
prompt the book up and everything.
yeah.
But I
Book
think
talks.
I think it's like my view on it, and which that's why you're so unique in this situation is that you don't have to be pigeonholed into, if you're a football player or an athlete, you don't have to just be a warrior. Like you can go to battle and
Yeah,
be a warrior, but you can also like be into like Musashi. He was both. Like he found a balance between all things, which
yeah,
is like that's kind of like the ultimate goal, I think, for me anyway, is to find a balance between, I want to be a warrior, I want to be tough, I want to be manly, so to speak. I like those things fire me up, but at the same time I don't want to just lose all feeling and like understand that there's like kindness and a nice balance that needs to go with all of these different things in order to make everything work perfectly.
No, I said it's a dance. It's like we're all living in this dance where we're dancing between our masculine and our feminine energy. It's like, yes, I love to be, masculine at times and like be that warrior, but I also love to like get into my dance creative flow, wearing my crazy colorful leggings and doing that. So it's
But
like, and finding that balance, because like for the longest time I got away from like the warrior and I went straight into my feminine energy. And so it's like, all right, how do you balance the two, especially with relationships? It's and so it really is. It's a process, but it can be done. And having obviously being in a relationship like you and I, like our intimate relationships are the closest thing where we have to see ourselves constantly. Like the relationship mirror is huge, so like we're constantly seeing ourselves through our partner, because at the end of the day, like our inner world, our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. So if we know that, then anything that's irritating our partner is something that's truly being irritated within us. And so, the more and more we get in tune with that, and the more that we can respond instead of react to situations, that's where the dance begins. And yeah, like that's what I love is like the book that I'm writing it's about like how do we keep those those gifts that we learned as a warrior, but we transmute that energy into something truly positive and like not not in a place of anger and like the movie 300, like
yeah.
mentality. And it's just how do we like really channel that energy into something that's for the greater good of ourselves, our families. And so it's yeah, man, it's a journey, but I'm excited to be out here talking with you and getting this message out here, because it is it's a different life.
Well, I mean, I don't know how you chose Bali as your like 100%. Did you just go visit it one day?
No, so we traveled from Belize to Guatemala to Mexico, and then my girlfriend Mandy has been being called to Bali for a while now. She she gets these downloads that like, hey, like Bali is calling you and you need to pick up the phone. And so we literally are just like, hey, we're like, before we even got out, we'd never been here before until a month and a week ago. But we already decided that we're gonna have a retreat out here in October. We're like, we just before we even got out here, we're like, all right, we're just gonna get some shit done and do it. And when we got out here, when I say within the first week, it was just like everything just clicked into place. Like it was like you see the inner workings of a clock. It was just like everything just completely aligned with what we're doing. We literally, people were being thrown left and right at us. We were just like completely just put on this frequency and lane to just like get shit done. We are here for good. Here's your place that you're going to be living at. Here are the people that you're going to be working with. Here's your retreat center. These are the dates that you can do it. It was just, when I say within a week's time, we did more that we could do here than we could ever do in a year's time back in the States. Like that's how much of an expansion process this place is. Like it really slows things down or speeds things up, like whatever you need. Like what I tell people is like Bali is truly medicine. It's not what you want, but it's what you need. And people get chewed up and spit out here because they decide not to look within that. And so you'll see like people bandaged up from getting in scooter accidents all the time. You'll see people getting mugged on the streets. But like at the end of the day, it's like, what are these things that are happening for you truly representing? And I think a lot of people like get in this victim mode where like, oh, this is what happened to me. Like I can't be here. I'm like, no, why don't you sit down and really ponder what is going on in your life and why did you bang up your knee or get punched in the gut, and look into that, because clearly it's like the law of attraction. You're attracted to that in for a reason, and whether you choose to look at it or not, that's on you.
Yeah, it really is. It's like kind of a choice that you make.
Yeah.
So tell me, like, let's dive into a little bit more about like your retreats out there in Bali and what all the process is and how people can sign up and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so we let's see, a month ago we decided to host this retreat in October, and we already are halfway filled. We're halfway filled up with the retreat, and what's been beautiful is that we haven't done any advertising, no Facebook ads. Like literally, what I do is a one-to-one communication with someone that we already know or someone that's been recommended to us, that's truly open-hearted, open-minded, ready to completely break through that glass ceiling that they put on themselves and go to the next level of their business, their personal life, their relationships. They're just ready for the next stage. And in order for you to be like going to the next stage, you got to be thinking differently. And so what Mandy, my girlfriend, does is she hosts these retreats, and she just deep dives with them for 8 days, where we literally rented out this whole retreat center. There's 12 villas right on the riverfront. It's beautiful. And each day we're just diving in and really getting their stories out, putting them on paper, going through transformational experience after transformational experience, bringing in different light workers, different modalities to help them shift their energy, shift their focus, shift their mindset. And it's something that is like 8 days with my girlfriend, like in this place that is just pure magic and manifestation. It's something that is not offered, really anywhere. And so with that, we're going to start actually pumping it out to the masses more. And, after this 13-day retreat or 13-person retreat, we're going to start opening up to a 40, 50 people retreat and getting it out like steadily. But right now we're just focusing on these 13 beautiful men and women. They're from everywhere from London to Guatemala to LA to Portugal. Like they're coming in from all over the world in October because they're ready, And at the end of the day, it's like when I talk to people on the phone and I get them scheduled for a call with Mandy, it's they're not even going to get on the phone with Mandy if they're not truly ready, or they don't think they deserve it. So it's like at the end of the day, it's like people that are willing and able and are ready to take that jump. Let's go. And it's not even a sales process. It's literally here's an invitation to change your life for the better and to completely expand what you've been doing. And so with that, it's been a beautiful journey. Like it's taken a long time to get to this point. There's been some huge hills and valleys, but when I say like everything has been so fulfilling doing this, is because we know that we're here to really help these thought leaders, take things to the next level so they can help their communities, their tribes on such a bigger way. And so, yeah, man, so that's just the small tidbit of what we got going on.
That's just
there's so much more.
That's just a little one. And then you find all of these like little fitness classes out there, which they look like the fanciest of fancy studios, and you're just dancing around. So people don't know this dude can dance, for one. For two, he can make music videos. And for three, he loves to dance and make music videos. Well, no matter where he is. So like you just show up to a fitness class and you're like, okay, the entire room is about to dance.
So I gotta thank my buddy Jason, who's out here. He's the general manager of this amazing fitness health club called Titi Batu in Ubud, Bali. And whenever you guys come visit me, I'm gonna encourage everyone to come visit me. This place is phenomenal. It's like Lifetime Fitness on steroids. They have amazing pools, skate park, basketball courts, 2 awesome fitness rooms for like Zumba and personal training and boxing. And then they have like state-of-the-art Italian custom lifting equipment and benches and all hand-stitched, and a restaurant. And then they do like movie nights, and I can go on and on and on. And so like this place, like my girlfriend and I, we literally like are there from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. sometimes, because it's just such a great co-working space for business owners that get shit done. They want to work on their fitness, or they just want to have like a personal retreat day, because you can just chill at the pool all day. And so anyways, my friend Jason, he's been doing this thing called Run Box for kids, where it's the combination of cardio, basketball, boxing, dancing. He live DJ. He's a professional DJ. He's from Australia. He does like he like DJs before like Snoop Dogg concerts and stuff like that. So like he's connected with Russell Simmons, like amazing people around the world. And so he does this fitness class twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7:30 to 9 a.m. where we're doing everything from setting up intentions before our workout to meditating to just beating the shit out of bags with boxing gloves on, yelling, screaming, dance, like having dance offs at the end. And what the beautiful thing about this group that we've just started this group a month ago, and we've done like, what is it, eight classes, and like each class gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and all the proceeds go to a local kid from Bali going to private school. So all the proceeds from each class go into sending this kid to private school on the island, and it's just beautiful. Like, Jason, no one's getting any money for it, and it's just all going back. And so like the vibration that we're raising is just it's gonna get pretty crazy, because we're gonna be focusing that into full on retreats to give back to kids. All the proceeds will go to a kid. We'll donate our week to transform these people, but also they're going to be transforming the kid's life or a school's life. Like we're big picture, we're going to be raising money for this school for them to build a new school. So it's just, and that's just totally in alignment with what Mandy and I are here to do. We're here to create schools around the world that are flipping education on its head and teaching the complete child, not just intellectually, but like everything from mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And so anyways, it's just the fitness group, like that's my bread and butter. I love getting people to wake the fuck up early, sweat it out with the group, dance it out, and completely just get those endorphins out there and spread that vibration, because I don't see any better way to start the day than sweating with the tribe and listening to some amazing music and just grounding ourselves into our intentions for the day.
How did you end up meeting so many people around the world? Like, you've got these people, like this guy's from Australia, the people from London, people all over the place, like just these random people everywhere. How does all that come about?
So I just coined my superpower 2 days ago. So my superpower is the ultimate conscious connector, and so with that, if people know me back home, my friends, they'll know that I'm an octopus. So I have all these tentacles going all different ways. I'm a Pisces, so I'm very a watery creature. So when I'm in a room or I'm on a mountain, people, the magnitude of the gravitational pull that my energy puts out, it's just people just come into my life out of nowhere. It's just things just happen, and it's kind of hard to explain it, but I put this high vibration out there, and people like you are just, through Betty, are just hey, Betty's you guys need to connect. And so that's usually what happens, is there's a third party or someone that knows me, that knows someone else, and it's just boom, y'all need to connect, y'all need to connect. And then that's where the magic happens, because I'm so open to making these connections with people and when you meet me for the first time, it's we knew each other for 10 years. Because I'm also very adaptable, and I say I'm a chameleon in a way, because I'm able to really truly get on the same wavelength as other people, because I've just been doing this my whole life. When I say I've been in the football realm, the choir realm, I was an Eagle Scout. There's all these different communities that I grew up in. So when I say the well-rounded child, I had to adapt. I had to, be a certain way in a certain situation, act a certain way. So I know how to play this dance, and I know how to truly sync with someone that's on a different wavelength than me. And And so it's just like what I said, like it is truly a dance. Like when I got to know you, I was like, all right, perfect. We can jam out about skating all day.
Yeah.
We can jam out about fitness, and so like I'm able to relate to you, and then that's where the relationship builds. Is once we find that common ground, and then boom, 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 boom. Like it doesn't matter where, if you're from Japan. Like I had amazing friends when I've lived in Japan for a year playing professional football. I cried when I left Japan. That's how like powerful those connections were, and I felt like I was leaving summer camp. It's like, and they barely could speak English. So it's like, and then friends from all over the world. It's just been beautiful because wherever I travel, there's a lot of nomads, people that have businesses online. So I'm making friends with people from Holland, Germany, Russia, Trinidad, Tobago, Guatemala, Brazil, Colombia. It's just because everyone that's on this journey, especially when you come out to Bali, the barrier is already up here. Like for you to get to Bali, you already have to be mentally prepared to get there. And to live here is a whole nother task because like the mindset you have when you like just completely uproot yourself and live in another country is one thing. It's like it's one thing to visit a country, it's one thing to live in a country. And so like the people that are living out here, they're already like, it's like it's go time. It's like we're action takers, we're getting shit done, and we want people to join us on this mission.
Well, is it like mainly tourists out there?
So there are a lot of expats, which means like so I would say Bali is like the Mexico of Australia for Australia.
Gotcha.
Because Australia is a jump skip from here, and so like all the Australians come out here to party, have a good time, and then they also are here and then a lot of people from around the world come out here as well to Ubud, which is like the spiritual Mecca, and do their yoga retreats, the meditation retreats. And so there's like two different realms. So like Tulum, Mexico is like Ubud, Bali, and then Canggu, Bali is like Cancun. So there's like two different realms of Mexico and Bali. And for Americans, because Americans, they're not flying all the way across the world. They'd probably rather go to Mexico and, party or get their spiritualness on in Tulum. But anyways, there are a lot of tourists, especially in the tourist season, which is summertime. But there's also a lot of nomadic people out here that have completely set up shop, that live here. They've been here for like 10 years. Because what happens is when people come to visit Bali, they end up staying longer and longer and pushing their visa out farther and farther because it is such a magical place. Like if Mother Bali welcomes you with open arms, you're not going to want to leave because it doesn't make sense to. Like this place is so beautiful. The culture here, the local culture is just phenomenal. The Balinese men and women, they literally bless the ground 3 times a day with flower offerings, and it's just a beautiful thing. It's just I've never seen people smile so big in my life. These Balinese people, like I don't know if they went to smiling school or what, but they know how to use every muscle in their face they smile with. And it's just so beautiful. And so anyways, I can sell you on Bali all day. And
Yeah, I'm sold. I mean, I saw that surf comp and like the black beach just looked crazy. It looked beautiful. It's weird to say like that a black sand beach would look that pretty, but it really did. It was like, wow, that looks amazing. It's unique.
What's beautiful too is like they're like the crystallized pebbles like in the sand, like it like sparkles too. And then actually black sand is actually supposed to be really good for you, like for your skin, and like when the sun hits it too. Like I don't know, there's something scientifically there's something about black sand as well. But it's really cool because obviously there's several volcanoes that have made Bali, so that's volcanic ash, debris, and so it's so different. But there are white sandy beaches. There's all that too. So like Bali, like I'm telling you, it has everything. It has the beaches. It has the jungle. It has the nightlife. It has the spiritual life. It has the monkeys roaming around. Like literally, I'm surrounded by like beautiful birds, butterflies, bees, flowers galore, and it's just a tropical paradise for sure.
So I don't know. I can't remember if we covered it or not, but you went back from South America, sold all your stuff, and then moved back there.
Central
So,
America, yeah.
yeah, Central America. Sorry. And so, like, I think that's it. I mean, I even read like Wanderlust, the book, because it's kind of like an intriguing lifestyle to me. And you live that sort of lifestyle where you're just like, well, I'm just gonna go these places, and you just, I guess you just, if you're like that in that book, you just save away a bunch of money, sell all your stuff, and then go travel for a little bit and see what you like, what you don't like, and it kind of explains how it's all possible to do that when you wouldn't think, oh, I could spend a year backpacking through Europe, with no job, or or maybe pick up odds and ends here and there, or whatever. So explain a little bit on how you actually go through this process of making it to these places, exploring what you like and what you don't like, and helping these kids out, all that.
I mean, honestly, it's one of those things where when my girlfriend got a download, like she's on a treadmill one day in Arizona. We were living a pretty normal life. We already had an online teacher coaching program business, but it was just like one day she got this download to, hey, move to Belize. Just popped in, And then a month later, we just like committed. We jumped ship. We sold everything we owned, and we moved to Belize. And it wasn't like we had a game plan going in. We literally booked an Airbnb for a week and went from there. So like when I say like we ultimately surrendered to whatever God, whatever the universe, whatever you want to say was giving us, then that's where the magic lies, is when the fear, once you embrace the fear of the unknown, that's where the magic is in that little crease that you usually just like drive by. It's like, oh, go down this little alleyway real quick, and then go through this. It's like really the ultimate sense of wander, like truly wandering. And so like, yeah, we had no idea that we're going to work at a local, work with these local elementary school kids on an island of 2,000 people for 4 months, and then pretty much, sponsor a kid for the rest of his life. No, the only reason that was happening is because we were open to whatever God, whatever the universe brought to us, and we accepted everything that came through. The people that came through, the experiences. And do I say it was easy? No. Like, would I say it's like, it's going to be a challenge? Yeah. Like, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Like, although you see all the amazing posts that we have, like, there's a lot of nitty gritty, getting dirty situations. But that's what made us even rip more layers out and understand that, hey, like our mission is much bigger than we ever thought it could be. And so like, I think the biggest thing is like, for people that are looking to do something like this, like, know that it's going to be a journey. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs, but when you have that big vision in mind, you have your big purpose in mind and what you're looking for, just know that that's where the intention comes every day. It's like I wake up at 5 a.m. every day because I have the intention to really get what I needed to be getting done for the next level of my life, my personal life, my business, my relationships. And so like when you always have that, on the mirror, whatever, that's where things really are going to work for you, not to you, everything's happening for you. And that's where the shift happens. So do I have like a formula to move out of the country? No, it's like literally, you jump with a backpack on. You might have a parachute, you might not. You jump off that cliff and then you figure it out.
Yeah, it's a scary thought for people though. Like, think about how scary that is for most people who live that regular old suburban life. Like, oh man, I'd love to live in Bali, paradise. It's like, how glorious would that be? You're on a beach or something because you're stuck in an office with four walls or whatever it is. I mean, those aren't bad things. I don't want to say that in a bad light at all. Those are not bad things at all. They're very needed, things. But people look at it and dream and go, I'd love to live this and I'd love to do this but the comfort of those four walls and getting that paycheck every single week versus
Oh yeah.
selling everything on a whim and going, it's kind of unknown. I'm going to figure it out when I get there. Super
Yeah.
scary.
Oh, I was so scared. Like if you asked Mandy, I was like, when she told me about Belize, I was like, first of all, I was like, what is Belize? Where is that? And then, and then I was like, fuck. I'm like, I gotta sell everything I own and do this journey. And so, like, yeah, I was very apprehensive of doing that. Like, I was very scared. But like, really looking into that discomfort. Like, sometimes people like we love to avoid that uncomfortableness and like those things. It's like when you finally like a buffalo go towards the storm, that's where the beauty lies, you know. And I just like I created this the other day. I was like, um, embrace your fear and persevere, because at the end of the day, it's like once we do embrace that with love, we embrace that fear and just like hug it. It's like, hey, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere, and just persistently go after it. That's and you know I'm very thankful for my past. Like football has truly helped me mentally, just like when it comes like to mental toughness. Like I know I can get through anything, but it's just like getting out of my own way to achieve those goals and those aspirations. And so yeah, it's definitely been one hell of a ride, and I'm excited that we get to share this together, this experience with each other together, because I'm really passionate about helping other people see what's out of the cubicle, what's outside of the cubicle. I lived that life as well. Mandy's lived that life. Like we've been there in the trenches in America, and when I say there's so much out there to explore and do, and to work online, there's so many different avenues to make a living, and just shining light on the different modalities, the different job opportunities out there. It's like once we take the blinders off and see that there's something over here I can go explore, and just truly dive into something. Like I just think like for anyone that's listening or watching, it's like take bold action every day. Take just one bold action step a day and see what happens. Do that for a month and see truly what that like. For me, like I get nervous when I go in front of a group and do like a public speaking event and have a microphone, but I've chosen to embrace the fear and do that weekly. So I'm doing like public speaking once a week.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, for me, you think it'd be easy, but like, no, that perfectionist in me always wants to have that perfect speech, or like always have that moving, motivational speech out there. But at the end of the day, like just embracing that comfort. And like 2 weeks ago, I freaking cried in front of a bunch of people while I was giving a speech, because I let that emotion run through me, and I allowed people to see me and hear me for truly who I am. And so like that wouldn't have happened if I just didn't embrace that and push through that uncomfortability. And doing that allows other people to do the same. So just be that reflection for other people, and like just embrace that fear. And yeah, man, I hope people get something out of this for sure.
Oh, 100%, dude. If they don't, then it's just not what they want to do. Like, hey, I'm more of I'm like, okay, I see people like you. I should say things less if I don't intend to actually do them. Now, my wife's really, really good at, if I say something, I better intend to do it. Like, yeah, I'm going to start a podcast. Okay, well, you're going to start a podcast then. You're not going to talk about it. You're going to, And so when you say, like, when people sit back and they say things, I want to be like, you can do it. Like, don't say it. Don't just keep saying that, oh, I wish I could. No, you can. Like, you either want to take a vacation there or you want to move there. Like, and if you want to move there, you can make it happen. You just have to look at people like Paul, and that's with anything in life. I'm not talking about just like that. It's like, okay, you talked about taking the blinders off of the job, and I think that was so well put. Like, I sat there and went, man, that is like really well said, because people think you've got to have this traditional job. It's got a factory, in an office. We have to go in for a certain amount of time, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I pick a fence, all that stuff.
Yeah, not really. You don't. Like, you you can do a lot of different things. You realize, wait, hold on, I can make money online from anywhere I want. I just have to apply myself for a couple hours a day and really get stuff done, and then I don't have to work 12 hours a day. What? That's so weird. I don't have to punch a clock. No, that's not normal. I got to go back to the regular way. Like, you know what I mean? That there's a certain safety net that 12 hours, 10 hours a day, 9 to 5 gives people. And it's not bad at all. I mean, like I said earlier, it's really not. I have one of those jobs. I do that. But I also know that there are so many other things out there that you can get into. So the possibilities are endless if you really want them.
Yeah, no, it's, my girlfriend and I have been talking about this, is like, we've been programmed from early childhood on to live this life of school in the States, what's the structure? You go to school, you have a break, you go back to class, then you have lunch, then you have another break mid-afternoon, then you go home. That's literally the structure of every job in the States. It's like you're primed at 5 years old. You're getting primed to go work in the workforce, because what happens in your job? You go to your job, then you have a smoke break, then you go back to work, then you have lunch break, then you go back to work, then you have another smoke break, and then you go home. So it's like we're so accustomed to these systems and everything, because it's all been lined up to make that happen. So it's like once we start breaking that cycle and truly just questioning the things that we're doing on a daily basis, and like, why do I wake up at this? Because my job wants me to wake up? Or why don't you let your soul wake you up sometimes? And like, for me, it's like, I wake up at 5 a.m. I don't put an alarm on. I just wake up. And when I wake up, I'm up. There's no pressing snooze. There's no like, this is, why am I doing? No, like, I choose to wake up when I want to wake up. And it's like, so when we start like, thinking that way, that's where things start shifting for you. And, no, one more thing I was going to say is a lot of people, what's been really inspiring. Hey, how are you?
For people who don't know, yeah, there's Maddie on the podcast.
That's right.
She came in.
That's right. She's got swimming, or what's going on?
Yeah. We got swim.
6:30.
Okay, yeah, I know we got to wrap up pretty soon. But I want to say real quick, this is perfect timing. I was going to say, what's been inspiring me more and more is families that do what I'm doing and do what my girlfriend and I are doing. Like, when I say people give excuses for like, oh, I have 2 little kids, I'm like, I see mom and dads carting their kids around the world full time. There's no excuse big enough for you not to do what you truly want to do.
Yeah.
And the only person in your way is yourself. So like, once we start taking accountability and ownership of why we are in certain situations and getting out of the victimhood, and getting out of the, I should have done this, could have done this. No, you still can do whatever you want to do. It's just you got to, buckle up the big boy pants, big girl pants, and get after it.
Yeah, no, totally true. And we take the kids with us so many different places. Like I said, I've said it before 100 times on here. I may have even told you. We don't do Christmas gifts. We do trips. So
Trips, not gifts.
Experience. And you can see, as behind me, she likes to dance too, so.
Did she say tripness? Is that what you said? No, she didn't say that, did she?
Trips, not
That's
gifts.
actually
Not
you should
gifts.
write the trips, not gifts. And that's exactly, so my girlfriend's got 2 daughters that are 20 and 21. We did that for the first time this last year. They did Christmas with us in Belize. And like, such a better idea than giving all these monetary gifts. Like, hey, how about you experience another culture, another country, another area of town, whatever, for a week, and just have some solid family time and solid connection time. And I love that. I think tripness might be the thing.
Tripness.
There we go.
There we go.
We're already thinking of ideas here. So
There we go. Hey, we better do it now, because people are going to get it when they post this, and somebody might act on it before us. So
maybe bleep that out for now.
I'll edit that tripness out. Nobody listen to tripness, okay? All right, man. Well, blast out anything that you need to blast out, and let people know where they can find you, where they can sign up for the retreats, where to get a hold of you, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So to look at our retreats and everything, go to mandelinmoses.com. That's my girlfriend's name. MANDELYNNMOSES.com. And to find me on Facebook, it's just Paul Porras, Porras. And then on Instagram is purely present Paul. And YouTube, just look up Paul Porras, Mandolin Moses, and yeah, I'll send you all that stuff in the comment section. And,
Oh yeah,
you know, I really appreciate you for having me on your podcast.
dude, thanks for being on.
I know it's not a hope. I know that this is gonna reach the people that it's supposed to, and you know, I really, really appreciate all the love and gratitude that you've always shown me. And thanks again, Betty, for making this all possible.
Thank you, Betty. And man, you know what? You know what's so wonderful is that we may not see like complete eye to eye, like, you know, on everything that goes on, but every time, it's like every time we get together, there's always a good deep conversation that we have. It's never like, hey, this is a little small talk here or there, like, oh yeah, how's the weather? You know, it's always something that is a beneficial conversation, and I appreciate that like immensely. So
of course, like I love it. Like energy from this conversation. I'm ready to start the day off right. And I know it's 7 a.m. over here. It's like what, 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. over there.
it's 6:16.
It's 6:16.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I need to get this one.
It's but that's what I love. It's like while you're sleeping, I'm awake. Vice versa. We're keeping this going.
That's where it's been so hard to set this podcast up, but we got it done, man. We got it done. Yeah, it's awesome. Well, thanks, Paul. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, much love, man. Hey, we'll talk real soon. Can't wait to be on again.
Bye.